tension is rising, so thick we just might choke. But if we keep moving, it ain't us that's gonna wind up.
This is Sarah and Herman. Both of them are performers and instructors at a local circus school, CircoFit. Whenever I'm working with models or performers, I make sure that the studio is a comfortable temperature. I always give ample time to warm up, and while they're warming up, I just set up all my lights. I really like to be able to make easy wins when I'm working with people for the first time. We talk through the looks and the shapes and the silhouettes that everyone's going to be using so that we can be as efficient as possible. I always find that going for easy wins means that everyone gets excited early on and we can kind of figure out the language between us that makes sense. In this case, my lights are super tall because my performers are up in the air. I'm using a 70 to 200 because I have a big space and this allows me to do it, and I realize not everyone has that kind of freedom. Our warm-up session with Sarah, it was my first time actually photographing trapeze. It's one of the aerial sports that I'm not quite as familiar with. So we started with poses that she knows really well and that are kind of her performer go-to, things that she can do without a lot of effort and a lot of experimentation. I didn't know a lot about trapeze before doing this shoot, so I spent a lot of time on YouTube watching the sport and trying to understand when are the best times to be taking the shot. I know these sports are extremely hard on the body, therefore I'm always mindful of how long they're holding the poses, and I try to make sure that I'm as quick as possible. The lighting in the background, I'm just using my Elinchrom ELC 500s, and they're just bare ball bouncing off the walls. In a large white studio space like this, I find that it's just a really effective and fun way to light shapes and bodies. I always find it extremely helpful that I photograph tethered to a computer. So I hook my computer up to a large television screen so that everyone in front of my camera can see the shots as they come up. That way we can fine-tune and carve out the poses better and more efficiently.
I would be super happy to have this shot.
Okay. How about this one?
Obsessed. This is like my signature trapeze move.
Nice. Next up, we had Herman on the silks. So Herman rigged up his own silks, which is another thing I always try to make sure of, that the performers are doing their own rigging, therefore they know what's safe. Another new thing for me is I have photographed a lot of aerial silks over the years, but I have not actually photographed a male performer doing silks, so this was really exciting. Nice work. Excellent. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh, this is so nice.
1, 2, 3. Nice. 1, 2, 3. Cool. What I was really excited about though, and that I didn't expect, is Herman to be really interested in doing drops. I made sure that I had Sarah standing close by holding onto my light stands. Even though they have sandbags on them, having a person holding them is always the safer option. Drops are a little bit hard on the body, so we made sure that we only did it 3 times. We would do the drop, review the images, and then do the drop and review the images.
Wow.
Yeah,
love.
This one's fucking sweet. I love this
Oh
one.
my god, love this one too.
Yeah. So that we see like the space between your arm and body, but I don't know how taxing that is to do it over time. So like. When it comes to static posing, you can really carve it out and make sure that the knee is straight and the head is tipped in the right direction and everything. But when it comes to photographing dynamic movement, sometimes it really gets down to luck of what the fabric does, how it swirls, and what the arms and bodies are doing as they're falling when you capture them. So it's just kind of a magical thing. When Sarah and I were planning out this shoot originally, I had sent her some concept art and some ideas, and she said, oh, I've got you. I have this perfect move that I can do, and I have this really light chiffon dress. And I was like, I'm in. Chiffon sounds great, mixed with aerials with a complementary color. That's gonna look really nice. And so we did this swinging move, and it's really hard on the joints, so I made sure that we don't do something like this until she's nice and warmed up, everything's nice and limber. It's not something that I would just, start the day with. And from here, my lighting is already locked in. I'm not making any changes, and we're just playing with it. We're doing it really quickly. We have to be really efficient with this. I don't want to work my performers because at the end of the day, this is just a photo shoot.
That's cool. That was nice.
That.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
even
cool.
that.
Yeah.
Shit, we're gonna have to narrow it down a little bit.
Well, that's for later. Yeah. Next it came time for doubles. So I've never photographed aerial doubles before like this. I mean, I knew it was going to be a really interesting challenge because now we are timing and scheduling in how exhausted everyone's gonna get and faster. I'm being mindful of 2 performers at this time, and we're trying to work on creating really interesting silhouettes and shapes. So this is where having a team that has worked together before is really, really helpful, where the communication is very quick, very clear, very concise, and we can efficiently and effectively get a sequence of beautiful images and in a time-efficient manner. Yeah. I got another one here of the jump up.
Oh yeah.
With
one leg to the side.
Yeah, and then the hyperextension in your elbow is super gnarly. I want to make sure that I'm very mindful of facial expressions. I want to make sure that I'm mindful of pointed toes and straight legs. And of course, how tired everyone's wrists are getting or ankles, because if you look at where most of the pressure is going to be, I really want to be careful that we're not putting anybody under any undue stress. This is not the place where I want to be trying new things for the first time. We want to work with stuff that they've done before, that they're experienced with, and that'll get us the best results in the safest way.
I was terrified.
It's gonna be awesome.
Recording. I just want to take the glasses off.
Before run.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So I'll tell you around your feet on my forearms. There you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh yeah. Yeah. There you go.
It's like a pros versus Joes,
So just like you did before, your feet are going to go to the outside, and then try to put your feet on this side of my arms. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Yeah, you got it. And then just go to the floor. There you go. You got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making it. I really hope you enjoyed watching it as well. Let me know what you think of the photos in the comments and what you think of the video itself. I'm really new to making this kind of stuff, so advice and feedback is super appreciated. Thanks so much and have yourself a super awesome day.
Well, at least the music and your audio are matching. Who swears with more confidence?
DMX.
Or Renee?
Jed?
It's part of it. Gotta sacrifice for the shot.
Yeah.